You're watching Roots TV Nigeria. My name is Oluwatobi Enitan. Welcome to another episode of What Next Education. To discuss the challenges and way forward in the education sector in Nigeria, I have the national moderator of the Civil Society Action Coalition on Education for All, Malam Aliu Kabir. Good to have you on the program.
Good to have you too.
To start with, can you tell us the challenges that children face while they want to learn, why they want quality education in Nigeria?
First challenge is you find out that classrooms are not built closer to communities that best need them. You will find a community with over 500 students or pupils that can enroll in school, and you have a community with 200 thereabout, but you see a school sited in that community with 200 number. That's the first challenge. The second challenge is nowadays you find teachers are the least paid. We have been yearning and aspiring for the TSS, which is nowhere to be found. And you understand that it's no more a white-collar job as it is supposed to be.
Okay, so what challenges do you as an NGO face to meet your target goal?
Yeah, you see, the major challenge for NGOs is funding. But for now, we are overcoming it because you have to use what you have to do what you want to do, not thinking of what you'll get to do what you. Some of us are based in the communities, so we have taken upon ourselves to advise our members to be closer to community structures, to mentor those community structures like the SBMC, the PTA, and other structures that you find within the school. But you sometimes find people not accepting, not understanding, and you have sometimes political interference whereby some politicians, knowing that when you sensitize and mobilize those guys, they can say no to things that are done wrong. So they give them, they try to influence their thinking so that they won't accept or understand where you're going.
With the perception that private schools have quality teachers and they teach better, will you say government schools have met the standard, and what are your judgments on that?
Yeah, to be frank, if you go around, we have conducted that research, especially with states where you have donors. And one thing that will amaze you is in private school you'll have a WAEC failure, an NCA failure. You hardly have a degree holder because they can't pay well. And you have a degree holder who is not even paid the way government is paying the teacher in public school. But what will amaze you, they have their work plan, they are disciplined, they come to school when due, and they teach because apart from the salary, the respect is there, the appreciation, the acknowledgement, and the pupils understand that they are getting something because the parents usually look at the books of the children to know what is happening. Some even visit school, but how many parents visit public school? How many parents even know who is their pupil's teacher? You hardly find it because we look at public school, our government school, it's not our school, but we are sending our children to that school. But you find qualified, you have people with masters in public school, but because the respect is not there, the recognition is not there, the zeal, the commitment and dedication at heart is not there. And that's why we usually have this as a problem.
So what's your view on corporal punishment, especially for, we know it's prevalent in public schools and at the basic level and also in secondary school?
Yeah, I know corporal punishment has been abolished. I don't think it's advisable for us to have corporal punishments within our schools. If you are a very good teacher, you know the methods of teaching. There are rewards and punishment that you have to understand the logic of how to reward and how to punish a child by giving compliments to the child, having other things, and telling the child some mocking words that will touch his heart and will make others look down on him is even far inflicting wound on him than the corporal punishment. We have issues like in Sokoto and other places, some states where we have reports a teacher cane a girl or a boy, and unfortunately after 1-2 days they passed away. And you can see the danger, because when you give corporal punishment, you don't know the medical history of that boy. You doing the judge and the jury is you are not helping matters. And when you look at the education budget in Nigeria, it's really alarming. And even not the budget, when you look at releases, you find out that we are moving from bad to worst. Education is far important and the most useful organ to use to overcome all the menaces we are facing. With education, you can overcome terrorism and what have you. It's better for you to educate a child than buy a gun. You see billions of naira going into the security. I'm not saying it's not, but the point is, if these children that are given this gun, these girls that you will see in Northeast and some now coming up in the Northwest, are given education, they will understand that they need peace to survive. They shouldn't be hostile. And that's why we feel education should be taken to the grassroots level, and the structures at the grassroots level where you find the SBMC and even the traditional institutions. The traditional institutions should have their rightful position. Before, if you are a teacher posted to a school, you first report to the traditional ruler, who even provide you with shelter. And you, from time to time, visit him. You are a role model in that community. But you find our teachers are no more role models because they feel government is not doing its part. So it's not just for the government. My appeal goes out to even the teachers themselves. It's not about you not giving what is due for you, but understand that tomorrow you will have to account for the position you hold, the children you are given the responsibility to mold their character. How will you hit your chest and say, yes, I am a teacher. I feel proud sometimes when I meet my students now graduating from university. Some I can't recognize, but they say, Marlon, do you recognize me? I say, no, Marlon, you taught me English in the school, and I feel proud because he's somebody that is worthy in the society, and wherever he goes, he knows I am part of that he has become. So I think we have challenges, but we shouldn't just look at the government. We should contribute in our small way to ensure that the education system in Nigeria changes. But for the 5 years to come, if there are meaningful changes, we can say we will be somewhere reasonably well. But with the way things are going, I think I'll just expect us to be at maybe 30–40%.
And we most sincerely thank you so much for your time.
Thank you too.
And I have been speaking with the national moderator of the Civil Society Action Coalition on Education for All, Malam Kabir Aliu, who has shared his thoughts on the education sector and identified the loopholes. And he also appealed to teachers that regardless of the difficulties they are faced with, they should contribute their quota to ensure the development of the nation. And he also stated the way forward for the education sector in Nigeria. This is where we call it a wrap on today's episode of What Next Education. My name is Oluwatobi Enitan for Roots TV, Nigeria.